Hey, so since yesterday I've made a lot of big changes. I've switched to self-poison. Um, I fixed my chaos res up to 75% and then I took it back down again due to the self-poison because you want to have lower chaos res so you heal for more. But yeah, I'm going to show you what exactly swapping to self-poison entails. I did it a lot earlier than I expected. Usually I get to like level 95 and then I swap. But this league, I felt like I was taking a lot of damage. um, so I swapped earlier, and it's been way better. It's been a lot easier to do higher red maps as South Poison. So I'm doing up to T16s pretty comfortably. Obviously, I'm not sustaining yet T16s, so I've got a T14 to show you in lieu of that. Also, I just wanted to talk about complex trauma. So I have got complex trauma now. And the swap to complex trauma is pretty rough. You need to have a bit of uh, like physical mitigation before you can swap to complex trauma because it does in the later stages. Um, it does kind of do a lot of damage to yourself, right? But there is a few ways to get around that. One of them is by chucking in multi-strike. So a lot of people are like, well, multi-strike doesn't work with Boneshatter. Well, it doesn't work in terms of stacking trauma, but it does like do a lot of damage. It's a great support gem for it, and it also means that you only stack trauma once every 3 hits rather than every hit, and your hits are a lot faster. So it's um it's actually a good way to mitigate like stacking trauma on yourself while using um, Boneshatter of complex trauma. It also helps if you're struggling with mana, right? Because you basically get 3 hits for the cost of one. So if you're struggling with mana, or you're struggling with building stacks of trauma on yourself with complex trauma, then use multi-strike. It's like a little yeah. However, you have to know with multi-strike, it can't if you exert your attacks, it doesn't work with multi-strike. So if you're using like Ancestral Cry, um, it's just going to do none of the exert effect if you're using multi-strike, which is a little bit of a niche thing, right? It goes under the radar sometimes. Okay, now with the swap with Self Poison, what I did is I got 10% chance to poison on hit on my gloves, which is like very low. Um, so I want to get that higher as soon as possible. Then I got this amulet here, and I allocated Toxic Strikes, which also gives me another 15% chance to poison on hit. And this is the amulet you need to do Self Poison, this Tainted Pact. As you see on the bottom there, it says taking chaos damage over time heals you instead while leeching life, which is great. So basically, like if you're doing stuff like Ultimatum with the Miasma Cloud, that thing will heal you as long as you hit something like pretty recently. I do need to get a Worm Flask, but I haven't yet. Also, I've got a jewel here, which gives me another 5% chance to poison. So altogether, I've got like 30%. 30% chance to poison, which isn't high. I'd really want a minimum of 40, but kind of is working, so whatever. Bit janky, but do what you can at the moment. I've also got this jewel in. Now this is Stormshroud. I'd highly recommend not switching from Purity of Elements until you have a Stormshroud set up. Now you see on that bottom line there, this says modifiers to chance to avoid being shock apply to all elemental ailments. So this means that if you have 100% chance to avoid shock, you have 100% chance to avoid all elemental ailments, which means you can't be scorched, you can stand on shock ground and it won't affect you, things like that. You can't be chilled, you can't be frozen, can't be burned. Yeah. So how I did this setup was I got some essences, if I can remember what they're called. This one, essence, deafening essence of torment. You don't have to use deafening. You can use shrieking as long as it's over 50%. And you just roll them on your boots. So I just rolled them on my boots until I got a good resist, pretty much. These are pretty crap boots, except that. So yeah, but I can roll this later with Eldritch Chaos, or just buy a better pair later. So I got over 50, so I got 58% chance to avoid being shocked on the boots. You see there in the middle, and then what I did is I quickly crafted a Stygian. I just rolled until I had life and chaos res on it, and then I put in a searching eye drill, which gives like another % chance to avoid being shocked, 49%. So that gives me like 107% chance to avoid being shocked. You only need 100. So with that jewel and the boots and the Stormshroud jewel, I'm immune to ailment, and it's honestly this league just feels like that's a huge thing. I don't know what it is about this league, but it feels like yeah, it's huge. So I honestly wouldn't recommend dropping Purity of Elements. So I'd say keep Determination and Purity of Elements set up until you've got your Stormshrouds all set up and ready to go. As soon as I dropped it, I got started like really suffering. As soon as I started dropping Purity of Elements, I started really suffering. So that's another thing too. Another thing is you can also get if it's before you're swapping to Self Poison, you can get the instant life leech as well on one of the leech masteries. So not just a 25% to max, and instant life leech helped a lot too when I swapped to complex trauma. Okay, this is my tree at the moment. I've got some impale on it because impale is just massive this league with the extra impale. Next thing I'm looking to do is to move my gear into spell suppression, but that's going to take far better gear than I currently got and quite a lot of currency. So that's just like a bit of a pipe dream thing at the moment. I'm going to need to anoint. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked it up if the tattoos are in this game still, but I'm going to need a tattoo a few of my dexterity nodes to get to suppression cap. So that's another thing as well. But yeah, I'm also going to need to eventually get my jewels. One there and one there, which will be good, which will give me more accuracy, and I can drop these accuracy nodes finally. Yep, that's where I'm looking at being at the moment. I'm still pretty low life, as you can see, only like 4,000, despite this being a light life lead. But it does the job. Still feeling reasonably tanky. So let's do a map. Maven to watch it, I guess. I've been doing Einhar, so we'll use that tree. And go on. Been doing Einhar and essences are honestly really hard to kill at the moment. And T14s when they stack up a lot. But yeah, it's just that whole toughness thing coming in. Yeah, it's pretty zoomy still. Oh, I need to show you. Oh, it's Exile. I need to show you this cool thing here. This Vengeful Cry setup, right? So Vengeful Cry. Yeah, just make sure I just don't get randomly one shot. Vengeful Cry retaliates against a savage hit with a war cry, taunting all nearby enemies to attack the user. The user and nearby enemies gain a buff which grants rage and prevents rage from being lost. Now it actually grants, if I can find it on my tree here. Here it is. So you can see it actually grants plus 25 to maximum rage, and also stops inherent loss of rage. So plus 25 to maximum rage obviously means plus 25% more damage. So it's like a pretty sick like thing. Now the funny interaction here is especially with complex trauma. When you hit like 7, 8, 9 stacks, you are constantly savage hitting yourself. So when you're fighting a boss, you have this all the time when it's not on cooldown. So when I get some quality on that, that's going to be up quite a lot. Like basically almost permanently. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, basically these three things here I don't usually use like during the mapping. I just use I just use them for bosses. I'm also looking to change into the auto exert version soon. Like just chuck on the auto exert setup, which is just like, but that needs a 6-link. So at the moment, I don't really want to invest in like committing to a 6-link. That because then I have to have like a 6-link on my. I have to have the auto exert set up pretty much on my either on my weapon or my chest, but you know 6-linking is expensive at this stage in the league. So basically, I need 2 6-links to run it, and I don't even have 1 6-link. This is just a 5-link. See my intimidating. Oh, I should have probably waited a bit. You can see my intimidating cry in my E key. You can see it start proccing itself soon. I'll show you. See, look at it proccing itself now. Yeah, when you get up enough trauma stacks, it just constantly procs itself. Alright. Yeah, I put in shrines as well in my tree just to help out. Yeah, level 90, I think. Yeah, 90 at the moment. So yeah, slowly getting up. Just a bit chase him around. Build feeling good, like happy with it. Like yeah, I had to do some upgrades before, like I expected to, but it's going fine. Really excited about the future of the build. Can't wait to see like the final form of it. It's I'm actually pretty hyped to see like the end result. Like the time I spent in Path of Building, let's see if it works. Had some very glowy brain moments there, but see how it pans out. Okay, alright, go up. Alright. See, I just used my Intimidate Cry there. That's that big red like buff thing. Yeah, and there's a T14. I'll try not to die to the mines or traps, whatever they are. Yeah. Oh, I also, another thing I did is I tried to fix up my flasks a bit. Obviously I've run out of currency, so you can see they've got random mods on them. Like spell damage leaks as energy shield. Obviously I don't want that. I just wanted the first one, which I wanted like gain charges when you're hit. Hopefully 3, but I'll do with 2. Also I want when charges reach full, but I never found one. I don't know if that's even still in the game. Like use when flasks are full. Is that still in the game? Because all I got is like everything else except that. And obviously this one I missed completely, so I need to buy some more. But I'm a poor at the moment. What do I got? Yeah, 30 chaos. So we'll see. Anyway. Also, yeah, the Stormshroud's pretty expensive. This one I bought for 4 divines. It should come down though in price. What is it looking at the moment? It's actually coming up. It's 7 divines. Yeah, so so it looks like I'll definitely recommend staying with Purity of Elements for a long time. Until you get your Stormshroud set up. Just keep it. Don't put in Pride. Just keep Purity of Elements. Yeah. You can try go with Pride, but you're gonna need freeze flasks, and you probably want to avoid shock as well. Like a source of like shock mitigation. Maybe shock effect would do, but yeah, maybe shock effect on your flask. So maybe instead of these useless things like spell damage. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you have any questions on the build, just let me know and I'll respond in the comments. And yeah, like and subscribe if you want, and I'll catch you on the next one. Sweet. Thank you. Catch ya.